Before we begin, we'll wash our hands. CNN, can I come in?
Yes.
Good evening, Mr. Garcia. How are you?
Good.
Good. Can I just verify your name and date of birth on your wristband? Perfect. The nurse let me know that we're going to be doing some range of motion. Is now a good time?
Yes.
Awesome. We're going to just be working on the right side of your body. So we'll first start off with the upper body. Just going to uncover the arm. So we're going to be doing flexion and extension. So this is flexion and extension. We're going to do that 2 more times. Flexion, extension, flexion, and extension. Now we bring your hand out to the side of your body. This is abduction, then we'll bring it in, adduction. We'll do that 2 more times. Abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. Now we're gonna come down to your elbow, do flexion and extension. We'll do it 2 more times. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Now we'll come down to the wrist, and we're gonna do extension, flexion, and hyperextension. That 2 more times. Flexion, extension, hyperextension, flexion, extension, hyperextension. Now moving your wrists to the left and right. We're gonna do radial deviation, ulnar deviation, radial deviation, ulnar deviation, radial deviation, and ulnar deviation. Now moving your fingers down and up. So flexion and extension, flexion and extension. One more time, flexion and extension. Okay. Okay, you put your arm down. Now I'm going to be moving on. Before we end, we're going to do abduction and adduction of each finger. Abduction, adduction. We'll do one more time. Okay, now we're going to move down to the lower half of your body. So I'm going to come down here, just uncover the leg that I'm working with. So I'm moving your leg into your hip. This is going to be flexion and extension. We'll do that 2 more times. Flexion and extension, flexion and extension. Then I'm moving your leg out and in to abduction, adduction, abduction, adduction, abduction, and adduction. And remember, Mr. Garcia, if there's any pain, just let me know, okay?
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to come down to your knee and do flexion and extension, flexion and extension. Okay, so now I'm going to come down to your ankle, and we're going to be doing dorsal flexion and plantar flexion. We're going to do that 2 more times. Dorsal flexion, plantar flexion, dorsal, plantar. Now I'm moving your foot in and out. So this is inversion, eversion, inversion, eversion, inversion, and eversion. Okay, I'm just going to remove your sock. And I'm going to bend your toes. So this is flexion and extension, flexion and extension, flexion and extension. I'm just going to move your toes, abduction and adduction. We'll do that 3 times. Does that tickle? Let me just put your sock back on.
I usually try.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, we are all done. How do you feel?
Good.
Okay, let me just cover you back up. Okay. Is there anything else I can do before I go? All right, Mr. Garcia, here's your call light right next to you. And just press it if you need anything. Have a good night. I'll open the curtain. And as always, when you finish, wash your hands.